the girl took her first seat at a game of poker, and was dealt 3 kings. She clearly remembered 2 aces had already been played, which meant statistically, nothing could beat her hand. But she wasn't happy, because at that moment, she had no more money to raise, and it was all thanks to her 2 assistants, who betrayed her just to please the manipulative woman. They had once sworn loyalty to her, but in truth, they feared only her older sister, the former head of the corporation. What they didn't know was that her sister was upstairs watching everything unfold. She had once been the sole disciple of a legendary gambling master. 5 years ago she faked a car crash and released false news of her own death. Since then, she had gone undercover in casinos to track down the mole who stole a national treasure. But today, she unexpectedly ran into her little sister. When she saw the scheming woman wearing the watch and necklace she had given her sister, she immediately understood. The girl was at the table to win back her keepsakes. On the table, the girl had already staked everything she owned, and beside the scheming woman were the 2 assistants who had betrayed her. They even placed the girl's private photos as part of the bet. The girl was furious and asked the staff to turn off the screen, but they said only the person who bought the video rights could decide that, and the girl had no more chips left. If she couldn't match the next bet, not only would she lose all her assets, she would also owe massive debts. At that moment, the assistants urged her to admit defeat and give her remaining chips to the scheming woman as an apology. Upstairs, her sister could barely hold back her rage, but was reminded that the mole had not yet appeared. She couldn't blow her cover, so she held back and waited. Meanwhile, the girl made a bold decision. She pulled out the corporate seal of authority and asked the staff to exchange it for chips. The scheming woman laughed, mocking her for betting a worthless stone, but when the chips were counted, it totaled 50 million. Shocking everyone. Upstairs, her sister immediately recognized the seal as the highest symbol of power in the corporation, conservatively worth over 100 million. The scheming woman then played the pity card, claiming the girl's father had already transferred all the family assets to her, implying the girl stood no chance. This statement puzzled the sister, and her subordinate explained that after the sister's fake death, the father had officially recognized his illegitimate daughter. Back at the table, the girl pushed all her chips forward. Then the 2 assistants took out a contract worth 150 million in company shares. The scheming woman stared confidently at the girl, knowing she had nothing left. To stay in the game, she would have to double her bet. As the crowd waited to see her fall, the girl showed a determined look and declared she would sign a donation agreement and bet her life. The scheming woman sneered, saying even if they sold the girl piece by piece, she wouldn't be worth 200 million. The next second, a server brought out chips worth 200 million. The room erupted in disbelief. Many questioned whether the casino was helping her, but the server calmly told everyone to look at the screen. It revealed that the girl had rare Rh-negative panda blood. Upstairs, her sister was fuming, desperate to tear those 3 apart herself. Meanwhile, the scheming woman started to panic. She had no more funds to raise. The 2 assistants told her to relax, and each called the staff, asking for donation agreements. They signed them on the spot, and matched the bet with another 100 million. The girl broke into tears, begging them to let her go. But one of the men coldly replied she could either raise or leave in shame. She stood up in pain, ready to walk away, but was shoved back to the table by the guards. At the same time, the dealer covered both players' cards. Upstairs, her sister immediately sent a subordinate to pass a black card to the girl. The girl took it, and without hesitation placed it on the table. The scheming woman mocked her again, saying she was clearly broke, and the card must be fake. But the girl had nothing left to lose, and asked the staff to verify it. The final result, the card was real, and the balance was 1 billion.